Well, I'm giving all praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Rukakadah, Shalom to the 144,000. Rest of you looked up there, Shalom to you all. The true nation Israelites are off on the Revelation 13:16 breakdown. So this is a video. I didn't even watch the whole thing. I watched like the first 30 seconds. So I said, let me make a little counter to it. True nation Israelites call on Jesus and go off on the Motb. Yeah, they straight up going off based on what I just heard. A lot of these guys, the Spirit of the Most High is not dealing with them, because if the Spirit of the Most High was dealing with them, they would break it down the correct way, the way GMS breaks it down. Revelation 13, True Nation Sabbath class. And I guess this was done today. They go off also on the Sabbath. The Sabbath is based upon the new moon, not Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. There's nowhere in the scriptures. So anyway, let me just go ahead and let this play.
16. And he calls them all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand.
To take forward his policy, his seal, his laws, his attitude around the
policy. So maybe he got that from following, the IUIC, Bishop Nate. He doesn't know. He doesn't understand how to break it down. And there's Edomites that break it down correctly. That's what's so disturbing. There's actual Edomite born-againers that break down Revelation 13 and 16 correctly.
The world. That's why Trump can come in and say, hey, you're going to do what I said, or I'm going to take away my aid, my this, that, or I'm going to come in with military. You're going to do what I said. You're going to receive my mark.
That's not what it's talking about. Because the whole world is going to receive the mark. It's going to be given to the whole world pursuant to Revelation 3 verse 10. So Trump is going to go to every country on the planet. He's going to go to every last 54 African nations to get them to receive the mark. You guys don't understand. If you would go into the Hebrew and the Greek, Old Testament words are translated from the Hebrew. New Testament words are translated from the Greek. The word for mark is charagma. It's a Greek word, and it's that device, that chip. And the reason why you guys can't see it, because Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is not dealing with y'all at all. Now, I don't know these individuals, so I don't hate them or love them. I don't know them. I heard of them. I don't know where they stem from. But I do know that the 7, they could have stemmed from somebody from One West that moved out to I think they're from California, and put up something. And then they kind of go their own way. But the 7 broke it down pretty much the way he breaks it down. And a little bit different. He says the mark in your hand represents you ready to fight for this man. And the mark on your forehead meaning you ready to do the biddings of this man, which is wrong. The 7 was wrong. High Priest Ariel was wrong. I did ask High Priest Ariel, I'm going to say this again. Does that mean, this was in the 80s. I said, does that mean that they're going to put actual something in you, an actual physical thing in you? And he said yes, but they're not going to have time to do it. And it didn't make sense to me at all, because that means that the Most High is going against his own prophecy. Why would the Most High make a prophecy and go against his own prophecy? Doesn't make sense. So the only ones that have this 100% truth are the men of GMS.
My seal. My policy. That's what he's saying.
His policy, because I believe he got that from Bishop Nate. Just because Bishop Nate has big numbers, that doesn't mean he has the truth.
That's what the scripture is saying. Come on.
Or in their foreheads,
or in their brains, in their minds, in their right hand, or in their minds. This is something in your right hand you can buy and sell with. Do you understand? your Apple, what is it? Y'all got Apple iPhones, right? Apple Pay. What else do you pay with on your phone?
He's all over the place. He's all over the place. This guy is just making it up. He's winging it. He's literally winging it. He's literally winging it. He said it's the policies. Trump goes over to another country, and if you don't do this, that, and that, I'm going to destroy you. That's the mark. Then he goes to buying a selling part. He picks up a smartphone. I can get an Apple. I can get an app to pay for things too, but that doesn't mean I have the mark of the beast. You know, and it could be the smartphone too. GOCC said it's a smartphone that you have in your hand because you have it in your hand. No, it's the actual chip. Why is this so hard to get this very simple understanding, this breakdown? Because the Spirit is not dealing with these guys. The Spirit is not dealing with the true nation. The Spirit is not dealing with the IUIC. The Spirit is not dealing with the ISUBK. The Spirit is not dealing with the two men from Genesis. They took the bag. They know the truth. But they chose to take the bag, live comfortably, and which is totally against what Moses did in spoken of, recorded in Hebrews chapter 11. I believe it's the 6th verse. I'm not going to go to it. Where he said he's going to choose. Matter of fact, let me go to it. If you're a sellout, that means you don't want to wait and have patience for the Lord to give you the kingdom. You want your kingdom now. And Hakar and Assad are two young men. So let me go to Hebrews. Give me a second, y'all. It's obviously not in 6. It's way down there. By faith, Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents, because they saw he was a proper child, and they were not afraid of the king's commandment. By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of the Most High than to enjoy the pleasure of sin for a season. So Hassan and Akkad, they chose to enjoy sin for a season. They definitely sold out. Now in the case of nation, the true nation, I don't believe this guy sold out. I believe he sincerely thinks he has a chip, which I believe he watched maybe GMS, he watched IUIC, he watched maybe ISBK, and he kind of came up with, that's why I use the word policy, because Nate was using that word. It's policies. And when Nate does a breakdown, it's like a comedy sketch for us. We laugh at it. We laugh at the way he breaks it down.
Tom Pay. What else? What else you use? What is it? Hulu. Google Pay. You can go right up to the counter.
That's not the mark of the beast. That's not the mark of the beast. So he clearly doesn't know what's going on.
With your phone, right? And you can pay. This is in your hand, in your right hand, but you must have the mark or the seal or his policies in your mind. You understand what I'm saying? You have to agree
what you're saying. You're straight up winging it. And this is why we don't go back and forth with these Israelite camps. We broke this down thousands of times. We did thousands of videos on the subject and broke it down thoroughly. We went into the Greek word for mark, which is charagma, from the Greek word, or the root word, which is in the Greek for karak, from the root word for the karaks, to the grapho, and we broke it down beautifully. We covered every corner, every nook and cranny. Like I said, these guys change it up. Like going back to Bishop Nate, maybe once every year and a half, he'll change the way Revelation 13:16 is broken down. He'll change it, and that's that pride.
Read what his policy is. It's in your mind. All right, let's read on.
Verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark.
See, save he. You won't be able to buy and sell. Save free with this policy. So when SHIT hit the fan, if you agree with this policy, you won't get your phone and go shopping.
Yeah, this is the weakest breakdown. I hope they're watching this, man. Oh, I hope the nation, or the true nation's watching me, because they're going off terribly. And then the guy that broke off from you, the bow believer of the way, they don't understand it because they following some of the stuff that you taught them.
Because you agree, and you don't get to snitching. Bishop Jackson, you doing them over there throwing food. You don't get your snitch on. You understand? Because you agree with their policy.
And what you're learning is making sure you're dealing with this deal. This mark. What is a mark? What is a mark? Let's get the definition of mark. So dictionary.com, mark. One instance is a visible impression or trace on something, as a line, cut, or dent. A badge, brand, or other visible sign assumed or imposed. A symbol used in writing. A sign, usually an X or a cross. An affixed or impressed device. So symbol, inscription. A sign, token, or indication. And we're dealing with this mark. Many have the misnomer that there is going to be literally like a chip, credit card, some sort of thing implanting that's the mark.
So he said, he made it known that it's not the chip. So he can be condemned for this because he's deceiving the people. So if he's saying it's not the chip, his followers will wind up taking the chip because it's not the chip. So you're not violating the scripture in any way. So he's clearly leading them down the wrong road. You know?
And that's not the case at all. Everything we're dealing with here in this Bible, we're dealing with this in this context, is going to be spiritual. So just like you're dealing with the sign of the Most High, which we'll get. Hold on.
Yeah, this is basically a church where the Hebrew Israelite, they don't know what's going on. They clearly don't know what's going on. I don't know them. I don't hate them, but the spirit ain't dealing with them. That's why we don't affiliate ourselves with any other Israelite group. Either you with GMS or you with somebody else.
So look, check this out, man. According to the Bible, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, we're God's chosen people. Go ahead, check this out, man. We're the Israelites. We're God's chosen people. All right. Hey, I got a flyer for you. You heard about the Israelites?
No, I'm gonna look out.
Yeah, we're God's chosen people. So if you need a place to, fellowship and, we'd love for you to swing by, All right. Appreciate it. Nice meeting you. Check this fire out, man.
You low key trying to rap to that woman, man. I'm surprised the man in the suit didn't knock you out.
It's life. We got to show the people. Yeah. Boss man, here you go. You can check this out. We like shit. God shows the people. Check this out, man.
And that's not how you do it. You don't pass out flyers to come to a church. You go out there and you tell them, you speak.
We're the Israelites. We God shows the people, bro.
Chris, do you have your key?
True nation Israelites are nothing more than Christians. All praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai.
Church with a Hebrew Israelite twist to it. They're not the prophets. The prophets are not at the true, the true nation Israelites.
Double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS. Shalom to the hopefully elect. This video will be entitled True Nation Israelites Call on Jesus and Go Off on the Mark of the Beast. Now, I started out the video with a couple of clips from this group, True Nation, where they was teaching the Mark of the Beast, and they just going off. Now, the first video with the first guy in it, it was from about 6 months ago, Bishop Yazaquel. He was going off. You can see he was winging it. You know, really, he just don't know what he...
Yeah, he's making it. You can clearly see that he's making it up. He's not speaking with authority. He's making it up as he goes along. He's just winging it.
Talking about. That was from 6 months ago. Then the other video with these other two guys, right? These two guys, another part of True Nation, from the main True Nation group. This is videos from 4 years ago. But they're still teaching it, you know, the same basic way like all these Israelites do now, and they was going off. They was straight up going off, telling you that the mark of the beast is not a chip, and really they just think it's something spiritual, philosophy, policy, you know. And then the one guy said the cell phone, you hold it in your hand, there's policy in your head. Well, yeah, but okay, dumbass. So then without a cell phone, I can't make purchases, I can't buy or sell. Doesn't make any sense. It's fucking stupid. It's gonna come a time where these phones, and even now, they've been saying that Bill Gates and them trying to make it where phones gonna be obsolete again. Now what? Oops. So without a cell phone, you can still buy and sell. It's really just a dumb thing. Now the way this video came about, I want to send a shout out to the brother from the Detroit camp. GMS inquired early. Slack it, brother. The brother's name escaped me, but of course, you know, one of my best friends, one of my better known brothers in the truth, you know, that I talk to on a regular basis, even you know, if it's just online, of course, brother Shakum, Salakia, bro. So many different brothers, different names. He sent me these two videos, this one right here, and this video right here with these niggas handing out flyers and shit. And they're nothing more than a glorified Christian group that know that they're Israelites. So this dude here had passing, and they pass out flyers, man. See, and all they're trying to do is just get more people to come follow them. Now, I also learned that they're a 501c3 group from their own mission. But this right here, they do this with these singing. They call it praise and worship, right? When you go to the description of the video, True Nation, come experience the presence of God with us. Join our praise and worship.
They're like basically a Christian church. You got Jesus, God, church, fellowship, praise. Yeah, Jesus again. They don't even have the true name, the true nation.
We lift up the name of Jesus, except the Savior's name is not Jesus. So what are you talking about? See? And then this chick right here like a damn, you know, well, you never know. They got that look like Somalians, man. Somalians and Ethiopians and shit. But you know, they could just be Israelites that was among the Somalians and among the Ethiopians. It says, grow together and let his spirit move. There is a place for you here at True Nation Congregation. See, it's just recruitment. And then they got hashtags. They ain't got the name Yahweh Shai. They don't have the name Yahweh. They got Jesus, God, church, fellowship, praise. So everything they do, they're just trying to get more followers, more people to come in there.
And from the YouTube channel, where I got the second Mark of the Beast video, this is their description. True Nation Israelite Congregation, biblical-based non-profit organization. Very important. Non-profit organizations are 501c3. So here you have another Hebrew Israelite group that get the 501c3, pass out flyers, call on Jesus, and they do this praise and worship crap so that the women feel like they being used, like they doing something. Because when you got women, you can do anything, as the old saying goes, you can do anything to a woman except bore her. So they get bored. So they have to do something to let them be out front, let them hold the microphone and sing so they feel like they're being used. And a lot of Israelites have that energy where if all you're going to do is study, worship from home, take notes and serve the Lord, in your own way, you feel like you're not doing enough. You have to be a part of a congregation. You got to watch out for them congregation Israelites. This is what you have. Bugged out, passing out flyers, women in the forefront, singing, and going off on doctrine. The Mark of the Beast, they don't have the truth, man. This ain't nothing more than the Israelite church, an Israelite Christian church is really what it is. Now, as far as going called on the name Jesus, when you read in Deuteronomy 28:64, let's read it now. As Israelites, the worst thing you can do, one of the worst things you can do, is be calling on the name Jesus, having the word in your mouth, having that word, that God and Jesus, right? That's the worst thing you can do because that's the name of an idol or any of these other guys' names. Deuteronomy 28:64, and
one, if not the first boat, one of the first boats that came that sailed slaves, so-called black African slaves from West Africa to the U.S. Let me just pull it on up. We just pull it on up. The good ship Jesus. You see how they cut it off? See how they cut the shit off? Actually, it's the good ship Jesus of Lubeck. The good ship Jesus slave ship. Let's do that. Get some information on that. Why would you ever use the word Jesus when you got over here and a ship named Jesus? The Jesus of Lubeck, commonly known as the good ship Jesus, was a 700-ton ship purchased by King Henry VIII and later chartered by Queen Elizabeth I to Sir John Hawkins. Now this is the guy that came up with the song Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. He did it. In other words, he repented. This devil repented, if I'm not mistaken. Sir John Hawkins. He admitted that he enslaved them, he was raping a woman, and he asked the Lord to forgive him. And that's what Esau does. All they got to do all kind of wickedness right before they die. If they time it right and they call on Jesus, they good. It was used in the 1560s as a primary vessel by the early English transatlantic slave trade, transporting enslaved Africans to the Americas. The name of this ship this is in the 15. Wait a minute, man. Queen Elizabeth John. It was used in the 1560s as a primary vessel for the early English transatlantic slave trade. Origins. Let's go into some origins. So, for you to call yourself, put Jesus or Christ in the name, and you call you, and it's the same breath you saying Israelites. That's ridiculous. That's ludicrous. Origins. Originally built in Lubeck, Germany, around 1520 and purchased by Henry the Eighth, which was a Jake, around 1540. Rolled in slavery in 1562. John Hawkins, and I'm gonna look his name up too, considered the first English slave trader, used the vessel to capture or acquire hundreds of Africans, Israelites, and Sierra Leone Israelites, and sell them in the West Indies. The first bulk of slaves of Africa, and I believe that's Nigeria, but it was West Africa. The first place that they landed in America was this island of Hispaniola, which is Santo Domingo. So a lot of your Dominicans are African. You tell them that, they're going to want to fight you. Final fate. In 1568, during a third voyage, the heavily damaged ship was captured by Spanish forces in the Battle of San Juan de Ulloa, modern Mexico. Because Issachar was there. You got New Mexico, which was part of Mexico. You got certain parts of Alamo, which is Texas. It was Esau that defeated the Issachar to take their land. Legacy: the vessel is historically significant as one of the first to launch England direct involvement in the Atlantic slave trade. Here again, they don't think they're going into captivity. It is important to distinguish this 16th century vessel from the, what is this, Born Jesus, Good Jesus, a Portuguese ship that sank, and this is a different ship, but this is also known Born Jesus, Bon like Bonton, Bon meaning Good Jesus. So they were selling you in the name of Christianity, their form of Christianity. And let me go look up Sir John Hopkins. And he lived during the 1500s. Keep that in mind. This is before the bulk of the slaves came to the Americas. Okay, let me see what it says here. Okay, that's that funny looking cracker. You know what? I want to get the information where I think he's the guy that came up with the song Amazing Grace. Sir John Hopkins and a song. What the fuck's going on, man? We'll do it this way. And the song, let's see if it's the same guy. Amazing Grace. Let's do this. Okay, so I guess it's a different. Okay, this is Sir John Newton. I'm sorry, Sir John Newton. Let me do this. My bad. See, this truth is catching up with these devils. Amazing Grace is a Christian hymn written by English poet and clergyman John Newton, published in 1779, reflecting his personal journey from a sinner to a believer, inspired by his escape from a violent storm at sea. Newton penned the lyrics 1772 to illustrate the transformative power of God. I found Jesus. God's grace. It is now one of the most famous songs and recorded hymn worldwide, often associated with the themes of redemption. I want to get this guy's full story. Okay, here, this is what I want. A wretch transformed. John Newton, 1725 to 1807, was a sailor who indulged in a life of debauchery, blasphemy, and for a time served as a slave trader. So he did all this wickedness, and he finally found Jesus. So he's good now. This is how Edomite Christians operate. They can do all kind of wickedness. They can be mass murderers, and then all of a sudden they find Jesus, and everything's good. The fuck out of here, man. So why would the IUIC use Jesus or Christ? Why would the True Nation use Jesus or Christ? If you were Israelite, you're supposed to know his name. If you found the Lord, or the Lord found you, you're supposed to know his name. Give me a second.
Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. This happened to the Israelites, right? We got exiled and scattered among all nations. It was said that when we
By the hands of who? By the hands of the Arabs and the so-called white men, the Edomites. When you go to Psalms 83, the number one nation of your enemies is Esau, number two is Ishmael. The Ishmaelites taught Esau about the slave trade, how to conduct the slave trade, how to sell them on auction blocks, how to pack them in ships. That's something that Ishmael had. That's why Ishmael's going into captivity.
I scattered the exile among all nations, this will happen. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
And that other God that you serve is Jesus. It's a white image, which that's not even his name. So you can't say, well, Jesus is black, because Jesus, first of all, there was no J in the Hebrew back then, so nobody called the Lord Jesus. I mean, this is stupid. It's ludicrous. It's unbelievable.
This means that these Israelites are on a very low-ass level. You have not understood that when we were exiled into captivity in all nations, we were going to be calling on the names of other gods, which neither us or our fathers never knew. The ancient Israelites never called.
One of those gods was Jesus. The main God is Jesus, especially in America. America is a Christian so-called system. Like you run to be president, if you tell them you're Islam, look, red flags are going to go up. You tell them that you're an atheist, flags are going up. You got to tell them that you believe in the Christian God.
I don't know nobody named Jesus. Where you get that from? You got it from captivity. So now, waking up to the truth, you mean to tell me you're going to still call on the same name that you was calling on before you woke up to being an Israelite? You must be out of your minds.
You're out of
That's
your
how
mind.
you know
You're
it's
not in your
just a
right
gimmick.
mind.
These different Israelites are still saying Jesus, they got Christ in their mouth. It's a gimmick. Just like handing out flyers. They wanted to make sure they put the names of the people they was handing out flyers. They're mediocre, low-level celebrities, man. Because I think I saw that they was at the Grammy Awards passing out flyers or whatever. So you got this guy, Kenny Brooks. I don't know who the fuck Kenny Brooks is. He's some type of celebrity. Low-level, right? Low-level celebrities, mediocre. Lefty gunplay. I think he might be some type of rapper. I don't know. Blasian Baby Lola. Like who? What? Right? Who is that? Blasian Baby Lola. You walking along trying to pass out. These Israelites be so damn thirsty for attention from the world They don't know what to do. Keith Lee, I think I heard his name before, but I'm not sure. You can Google these people and find out who they are. Miles.
Yeah, you're not going to wake these people up. You really think they're going to go from making millions of dollars to being out on the corner? And True Nation, I don't even know if they go out. I mean, I did see videos from years ago that they would be out there, so I don't know if this is the same group or I don't know. Anyway, y'all got a slave mentality when you call on Jesus. If you're an Israelite, like you got the IUIC, Captain Name said, I don't call him Captain Shem, I call him Captain Name. He said, oh, we're American Israelites. It says, is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? You're a home. Who taught you Jesus? Who showed you how to pronounce the word Jesus? The slave master. That's who. I'm not going to listen too much more because I'm pissed off.
Caden. Miles Catan. Todd.
These people are of the world, man. You mean to tell me they're going to give up some contracts where they're famous and they make lots of money and they live in a certain lifestyle? They're going to give that up to put on a t-shirt with fringes on it and be out there with y'all?
$. Now I do know who that feminine nigga is. Ty $, J Balvin. Yeah, I heard of him too. See? So they want you to know. And then I made sure to put their little, they need publicity. This is what they want. These Israelite groups need publicity. They want people to come and fellowship with them. This truth is not that's not how you supposed to present the truth. Pass it.
It's about the elect. It's only about the elect. When you teach all Israelites to come to you, and out of many are called, right? You hear the word, you listen, you're called. The ones that are chosen are the ones that become a part of this thing and become teachers in this thing, not just knowing, like it says in Luke 19, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not going to go there, somebody can go to it, where it talks about, hiding that talent that you have. The scriptures also say putting it in a napkin, burying the talent. No, you got to turn the talent into other talents.
In our flyers, if you were really sincere about teaching, that ain't the way you do it. And from what I see, that channel is dormant. Now the Lord told us to go out there and preach the gospel on the highways and hedges. And when you do that, you ain't passing out no fucking flyers, man. But a lot of Israelites do that, and they have adopted. You see the effect that IUIC had on these different Israelites? Because they try to pattern themselves after that, because they want that prestige and that money. That money is the main thing. That's why they got all them damn places you can leave, you can leave donations and all that. They got a cash out. Then they got all them channels, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. See? But they don't really have a YouTube presence anymore. When you go over there, you don't see True Nation Israelites raising no fuss. They've been dumbed down, man. And this is what that group, the Believers of the Way, that leader of that group, he came out of True Nation. This is Matthew 22:9. Go ye therefore into the highways, and as many as you shall find, bid to the marriage. That's all the Lord ever really told us to do, is preach the gospel, man. Not what he really told us. That's what he told us to do. We know that you're going to have, I don't know. GMS, the school is on it. Of course we do our online classes, which is, these lessons that we put up. Right? That's all you need to do. Handing out flyers is too much. But Jake, that's how they get down now. Some Israelites gonna be on the comment, but what's wrong with Pat? What the fuck you doing passing out flyers for? You going to random individuals and handing them papers, tell them about your school and come worship with y'all, fellowship. These people are unclean. They of the world. The Lord said we're not to be dealing with the people of the world. Let's go there. But this is also how you have wind up having infiltration, because these people are not being vetted. You just walking up to random individuals, and really,
you heard what he used. He used the word vetted. I did a video understanding the meaning of the word vetted, to vet or vetting or vet, to vet somebody. Because you had this guy in Canada, I believe that was Toronto. It was some mess. I think he's good now, but I'll get the report. I'm just letting the thing simmer down. But he didn't understand he didn't accept a lot of the stuff that we taught, but yet he was a member of GMS. Now the leadership of that particular camp, he should have never been in the camp. If you're in a camp and you believe everything that we teach, but you don't quite believe in the mark, you ain't got no business being in the camp. The great doctrine. If you don't, I can't get with that great thing, you shouldn't be in the camp. Point blank, period. Anyway, I'm going to close it. I'm a little tired. Anyway, with that, shalom, on to the next.